The output says. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. There we go. That should all be working. That should all be working. Let's just get that shared everywhere. 2 seconds. Just gotta get the game up as well. So what was it? I'll do that in a minute. We'll quickly share the stream. Share the stream, share the stream, share the stream. Is my camera in the wrong place? No, it's not. It's just about in the right place. Let me just... and then bam, share the stream. Share the stream. If I can actually, if my computer wants to work, that is. Nice. Nice. My tweets all botched because my computer's decided it just doesn't want to. That's great. That's great, lads. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say? Do you know? Like, do you get it? Where's the... I can't even find the blimmin' thing I'm looking for now. This is... There we are. Boom, let's share that there. And then you got to get on YouTube on the good old... On the good old... Here. Oh man, why is it? Oh. We can get that done in there. And then do that, and then one last place to share it, and then we can get talking about the football, ladies and gentlemen. We can then get talking about la football. Sky Sports working. Is there any bets I can put on for this game? Actually, I'm going to check Bet365 real quick. Bet365. What's it telling me? No, nothing's screaming at me right now. Nothing's really speaking to me. You know, sometimes when you see a bet and it just and it speaks to you, it's nothing. I don't have anything really speaking to me right now. It's not. I don't have it. Like sometimes like the bet will speak to me just on like a slide, like, okay, it's reaching out to me spiritually, blimmin' hell, man, imagine I could speak English, spiritually, yeah, it's just speaking to me, but I don't have that today. Well, I had one earlier, I did have some money coming earlier, but for this game, right now. I don't have anything really chatting to me. But any of the City lads in here after that big win to move us 2 points. 2 points off of the top, ladies and gentlemen. 2. Well, that's 4, sorry. 2 points, bro. Now we're back. We're so back. I don't think we've ever been this back. If I'm being honest, I don't think we've ever been this back. We've never been this back. Like, I would love to say that I haven't got carried away, right? I would love to say that I'm not carried away right now, but I'm so carried away. That Shirky assist for Foden's goal, like, bro, that gave me the biggest high of my life, bro. I felt like I'd taken at least 3 different Class A drugs when I saw that Shirky assist. Like, that put me on cloud 9. That really did, you know. And I still haven't come down from that. I feel like watching this Liverpool ball, though, might kind of ruin the mood a little bit. Not because I think they'll win, but I just think they're just going to... I think both teams are about to play some of the worst football I've ever seen. And I don't know if I'm really prepared for... I don't know if I'm really prepared for that. Do you know what I mean? Like... But, you know, I think Liverpool should win. There's no, like, I know Leeds are in good form at the moment. Obviously, they got very, very, very unlucky to lose to us. Obviously, they beat Chelsea because Chelsea, like, Enzo decided to put out the worst backline known to man against Chelsea, against Leeds for Chelsea even. But I do think, I think Liverpool have to win this. There's no, I don't see a world in which they don't win this game. Like, it just, because then he does lose his job. If Liverpool lose this game, then Arne Slot 110% loses his job, and I just don't see it personally. Let's see what match reaction we're getting on the timeline. I'm not really seeing anything City related right now, man. But nah, that's a big win. Big win. Nobody can tell you that was a big statement win. After the two previous performances, well, 3 previous performances we've put in the league. Obviously, I know 2 of them were a win and 1 was a loss. That's a big statement performance that against Sunderland today, man. That was a huge performance, and no one will be able to tell me different on that one. Really, really big performance from the boys. And you know, that puts us in a good position. Obviously, if I look at the upcoming fixtures, right? Let's look at the upcoming fixtures. Let me just have a little look. For both teams, that is. For Arsenal, obviously I know Villa up there, but I want to mostly focus on Arsenal because I see them as the main threat. Obviously, where are we? I don't even know. I'm so lost. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so lost. So we got Palace next, which is a difficult game. Then we got West Ham at home, which we should win. Forest away, we should win. And then we've got Sunderland away. So Palace away and Sunderland away are 2 difficult games. But I think Forest away and West Ham away, we have to be winning personally. I think we have to. Obviously, we've got Real Madrid away in the Champions League and Brentford at home in the League Cup. In between, in the middle of all of those games, right? But then you look at the Arsenal fixtures. Arsenal obviously on a tough run of games at the moment. They've got Wolves at home next, which they have to win. That is a must win. That is a guaranteed 3 points. Then they got Everton away, which is a very, very difficult game for them. Obviously, it's not a Goodison anymore, and they did struggle a lot at Goodison, and obviously they don't have to go to Goodison anymore. And then they've got Brighton at home, and then they got Villa at home, and then Bournemouth away, Liverpool home. So, you know, there's a difficult run of fixtures in there for both teams, really. So this is going to be very interesting. Obviously, you've got Aston Villa in the mix and Chelsea in the mix as well, who can still cause problems. Obviously, Villa, I think, are only 1 point behind City now, after they'll dramatic win at Arsenal today. So, you know, we have a title race on our hands, right? And obviously, I'd probably have to say that the quality at the top of the league is not that good this season, but that's only because the quality across the whole league is so good this year. I mean, other than Wolves, a lot of the any of the teams can just come and get a result. Like, you even think Burnley, Leeds, and West Ham, like a few weeks ago, you're thinking, okay, West Ham are definitely down. Forest are probably going to go down. Then you're looking at Burnley, and you're looking at Leeds as well. Obviously, Leeds have got a big result midweek, and obviously have the chance to get a result here today against Liverpool. You look at Burnley. Burnley, surprisingly under Scott Parker, play good Premier League football under Scott Parker, which I know is a bit insane to say. And then as well, you've got West Ham that, you know, they don't look as bad under Nuno as they did obviously under Potter. Obviously they got a draw at Manchester United, you know, which is obviously a decent result. So again, like I said, other than Wolves, like basically every team on their day can cause you a problem. Like, there's no easy games in this Premier League anymore, and that's why I firmly believe that stuff like the Centurions and the Invincible season aren't going to happen again for a long time, because the competition in this league is just too grand. There's too many like good teams, competent teams in this league for people to dog walk the league anymore. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get anyone run away with the league. Because if you even look at it, Liverpool at one point were 6 points clear of Arsenal, and then Arsenal were like, you know, had a lead on Liverpool and City, and these gaps close very quickly because there's no easy games in this league. You can trip up against anybody. You can literally trip up against anyone. I mean, look, you've got Arsenal, right? They obviously drop points to Sunderland. We've beat Sunderland 3-0 today. They dropped points to Chelsea. They then went on to lose 3-1 to Leeds. You know, we took points off of Arsenal and then went to go lose to Villa and Newcastle, right? You know, you can lose to anybody in this league. You can, right? You look at teams like, we'll go through the league right now. We'll look at the league table right now. Yeah, let me get the league table up. And we'll look at the league table and we'll talk through it. Obviously, Arsenal, City, Villa, Chelsea in top 4. You've even got Everton in at 5th. Very, very tough game playing against Everton and David Moyes' Everton. You've got Palace, again, another well-drilled team. You know, Arsenal did well to come away with a result against them through the Eze goal. Sunderland, again, obviously we didn't really see it today, but we saw it against Liverpool. Vipes, you've just ruined my whole flow. You've just ruined my whole flow with the I blame Akanji. Yeah, obviously you didn't see it with Sunderland today. But they're a very, very well drilled team and well organised team, and they play good football. I mean, you've even got Spurs in at 8th. You know, you've got Spurs are above teams like Liverpool, Newcastle, and Brighton. And obviously, you know, Spurs have not been great as of recently, but they still sit 8th in the Premier League. And that just shows how competitive the league actually is. You look at Chelsea on 25 points in 4th, right? That means they're only 6 points off of 14th. 6 points. Arian, my man, what have you said today? City won, and more importantly, a clean sheet, but now I fear for 10th of December, and specifically Mbappe, and your thoughts on the FIFA World Cup draw. Well, we'll start with a positive. We'll start with a big positive, my man. Again, thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, my boy. But City won. Yeah, very, very big and convincing win. Yes, we have 3 wins in a row in all competitions in the Premier League now, should I say. But that's a convincing win today. A convincing win, and that means more than anything. The clean sheet means more than anything. Against a very, very good team, we nullified them, right? We nullified them. Obviously, there were a few chances they got that we gave up a bit easy. I think it was Wilson Isidore had a chance that was made a good save from Donnarumma, from Diaz, just taking a loose touch at the edge of the box. But I just think we had Shirky on the pitch. He was taking the sting out of the game a lot. I think him and Nunes and him and Nico even did really well to sort of manage the game. I think Shirky was exceptional today. I think Foden again was exceptional today. I think O'Reilly, he had a shaky performance against Fulham. I didn't think he was great against Fulham, but I thought he was good today. Obviously, both centre-backs propped up with a goal. We scored from a corner, which we don't often do. Like, you know, Arsenal dropped points, and we had a very, very difficult 3 p.m. kickoff game against Sunderland when we're not in the best form. We did very, very well. And again, yeah, we have to fear Mbappe. Mbappe's in very, very good form, but they're beatable. Real Madrid are very, very beatable. They're Mbappe at the moment, in my humble opinion. I don't think Real Madrid are that good. If we can nullify Mbappe, which is going to be a difficult task, especially with how bad our defense have been and how good he played against us last season, you know, I think we could potentially have a chance at nullifying him. And I think if we do, we can beat Real Madrid easy. But we've got to go to the Bernabeu, and bad things happen at the Bernabeu. And finally, we get onto the World Cup draw, which I'm actually going to get the groups up here now because I only roughly know them off the top of my head, because I didn't watch the draw, because I've given up watching World Cup draws, man, because like they always con me into watching it, because I spend 2 hours of my time watching a World Cup draw and I come out of it thinking I have wasted my life. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine a lot of you feel the same when it comes to watching the Champions League draw, the Europa League draw, the World Cup draw, the Euros draw. You waste like two hours of your life on something that realistically takes 10 minutes because they drag it out. But I look at them and I think the standout groups for me, voice crack there. Personally, I think obviously Group I with France, Senegal, qualification team, and Norway is a very, very interesting group. Obviously Group J, something I'm going to be keeping a huge eye on, because you've got Algeria in there with Austria, Jordan, and the world champions Argentina. I think that's a very interesting group. Hopefully Algeria can finish second in that group, because I don't see us finishing first over Argentina. You've got your boy Kusanov playing in Group K with Colombia, another one of the qualification teams, and Portugal. And then obviously you've got England with Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, which is a tricky group. Very, very tricky group. And I say this every time with England, you know, they could potentially go out of that group. I don't think they will, but there is a potential they go out of that group. Exactly. Yesterday was just a circus, especially that Trump Peace Prize. Exactly. I knew as soon as you know that it's in America, which means Trump's going to be there for the draw, you just tune out. You just tune out, right? Because you know it's not even going to be football at that point. So, you know, I just waited for the draws to be done, and then I looked at the draws, and then I was like, cool. I didn't have to bother with any of that other pointless stuff that they were doing, because it's just nonsense. Like, it's even when you watch the Ballon d'Or. I sat there and watched the whole Ballon d'Or ceremony when Rodri won the Ballon d'Or, just to see Rodri win the Ballon d'Or. And I actually felt like I wasted my life, because I was just watching a bunch of pointless stuff. You know, I watched a bunch of awards that Real Madrid players won, or Real Madrid won, that they didn't turn up to because they're petulant. Yeah, and then, you know, I was ecstatic with watching Rodri win the Ballon d'Or, but again, I felt like I wasted my time. I felt like I could have just went round and done something else with my time, with my evening, and then as soon as it came to announcing the winner of the Ballon d'Or, I could have sat down and watched it, because they dragged that out. They drag it out, and that's what they do with all of these things. And that's my problem. My main problem with football and staying up to date with like some stuff that happens in football is because the way things get dragged out for watch time and stuff like that. But anyway, we got any score predictions for today's game? I could actually see this one ending 1-1. But I do think Liverpool win, because they have to win. They quite simply have to win. They can't not win. Just join after 30-40 minutes, standard time for these kind of events. But yesterday was 1 hour 30 before the actual... It was an hour and a half before the draw. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. What do you even do in an hour and a half? Like, granted, this stream is going to go on longer than an hour and a half, right? But if you notice, I start my watch-alongs half an hour before the game, so I can talk pre-match stuff, or I can talk about other results from the games beforehand. But you will never catch me starting a watch-along an hour and a half before the game. What we got? We got Brandon saying 4-1 Leeds. Yeah, you've kind of lost your mind. There might be a 4-1 lead in the game, but I don't think it'll be 4-1 to Leeds. And 2-0 Liverpool vert scoring. Now we don't even entertain the idea of vert scoring, okay? We don't those are words we don't speak. We don't talk about him. We don't talk about the German getting goal involvements around here, okay? We don't speak that into existence. We don't manifest it. Okay? You know, Isak could score for all I care. Ekitike, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, Gakpo, but not him. We don't talk about him scoring goals around here. That's like a forbidden phrase. Is him. Van Dijk, has Van Dijk ever scored an own goal for Liverpool? I don't actually know if Van Dijk's ever scored an own goal. Off the top of my head, I don't know if Van Dijk's ever scored an own goal for Liverpool anyway. I know Diaz has scored an own goal for City. That was against West Ham last season, I believe, when Haaland scored a hat-trick. I think Jarrod Bowen crossed it in and it came off of Diaz and went into the back of the net. But Van Dijk, I don't think he's ever scored an own goal. I'm trying to think what other current City players at the moment have scored own goals. I know Diaz has scored an own goal. I think Diaz might be the only person that scored an own goal for City in the current squad. That's good going, that. That's actually good going. But it might come to me later that someone else scored an own goal. Actually, Van Dijk could score an own goal because, now that I think about it logically, he could be aura defending and the shot could be going wide and it could hit off him and go in. Because if you notice, Liverpool concede a lot of deflections. And some people might tell you that teams get lucky against Liverpool because that's why they concede so many deflections. But they actually concede so many deflections because nobody wants to close anybody down at all. So it's just easier to just hit the ball at the defender, like hit the ball off the edge of the defender and wait for it to bounce in and pass the keeper. Phil for Salah carried Liverpool for so long, just one bad season they treat him like this. Klopp would have never benched him unless he was willingly wanted to. I do have to disagree with that one because I've seen Salah's had seasons like this before. I can't remember what year it was, but there was another season where Salah was just not at the races at all. And that's kind of why you can't rely on Mo Salah. It's kind of like Hazard. I see him in the same way that I see Hazard. Do you remember when Leicester won the league? The year after Chelsea obviously won the league and Chelsea just fell off, and it's because Hazard was just doing nothing. Was just doing nothing at all. So they're looking for Hazard for inspiration, the same way Liverpool are looking for Salah for inspiration, and nothing's happening. And that's why you can't just get carried by one player. Because, like, what happens if, you know, we start looking for Haaland for inspiration and he's just doing absolutely nothing? It's just, that's the danger of being a one-man team. Because I know these teams aren't actually one-man teams and they have good players. Like, you look at Diego Costa, Cesc Fabregas, Virgil van Dijk, Ryan Gravenberch, you know. But, like, you get my point. Like, you know, it's why you need multiple goal scorers and sort of like playmakers in your team, and Liverpool should have that. Liverpool have all of the pieces to have that going forward. You know, they've got Gakpo, they've got Isak, which they didn't need Isak. We all know they didn't need Isak. They bought Isak to flex their muscles in the transfer market. That's the only reason they bought Isak. They would have been completely fine with just Ekitike and potentially just going and spending all of either a bit more money on getting Mark Guehi's signing like 100%, right? So they've got people that can score goals, right? But they're still just trying to play to Salah's strengths. And it's not working. It's not working. But hopefully he's not in the team today. So hopefully we see something different. I mean, let me just double check the lineup again for Liverpool and just try sort of map out what I think's going to happen in this game coming from like a Liverpool attack perspective. I mean, they've got Szoboszlai and Gakpo out wide with Ekitike up top. So I think they're more likely to create chances today than they were against Sunderland when they had Isak up top, just because Ekitike is more inclined to come in and get involved in the build-up. I think, again, Isak just doesn't work because they don't know how to create for a striker, because they're not used to playing with a striker. And I think that's kind of like something that a lot of like people need to kind of understand when it comes to teams like Arsenal and like Liverpool. The whole reason the City were able to seamlessly sort of transition from false nine Foden to Erling Haaland up top was simply put it Kevin De Bruyne. If you look at anybody else in that team for that treble winning season, right? Gundogan was barely playing balls through. Bernardo Silva was not playing balls through to Haaland. There were a lot of times, and it is actually a miracle that Haaland broke the goal scoring record and we won the treble, because players weren't really looking for him in behind that often. And I remember Jamie Carragher doing a segment on it. Jamie Carragher's done multiple segments on it actually, because it's his specialty apparently, on Erling Haaland picking the wrong team. But yeah, there were multiple times where players weren't playing the pass to Haaland in behind. And that's kind of what Arsenal struggle with and Liverpool struggle with Isak. Because Isak and Gyökeres are not going to come and get involved in the game the way that Ekitike is, or like Voltemade is. They're not going to come and get involved in the game. They're up there to make the runs into the box, to camp the box, right? And if you're not going to find them with the passes, they're not going to do anything. And that's why it's just so much more beneficial for Liverpool to just play Ekitike and wait for sort of... And I know you can't really bench Isak that much because of how much he costs, like his transfer value alone. But... they need to sort of learn to play with a striker, and having Ekitike up top limits the damage they're going to do while trying to learn that, if that makes sense, because Ekitike is obviously going to play like a 9, but he's also more inclined to drop deep, to pick up the ball and create chances for himself than Isak is. So if they can learn to play with a 9 while Ekitike still makes things happen for himself, then they can transition into Isak just playing up there and being a gunman and a poacher, really. And then they'll find their success. Are they going to do that under Arne Slot? No, because I think he has to get sacked. Like, I just don't see a world where he succeeds at Liverpool again. I just think they're one loss away. They're one loss away from him being sacked. If Chiesa does not block that last minute chance for Sunderland midweek, he's gone. He's out of a job. Oh man, I'm trying to respond to a text and I'm just fumbling all of my typing skills because apparently I'm illiterate. Bam, have I got everything set up? I do indeed. Right, am I going to get the timer 100%? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, Arne Slot knows he could be in big trouble this evening. Arne Slot knows he could be in big trouble this evening. And we're here for it. We're here for it, right? If Leeds win today, I will be hosting the Arne Slot sacked party right here on this stream. This will turn from a watch-along to the Arne Slot sacked party if Leeds win. And also a fun fact for you, no player has more assists than Ryan Cherki's 5 assists in the Premier League this season, and he's only played 350 minutes. And you compare that to the second most expensive player in Premier League history, Florian Wirtz, who has what? How many assists in the Prem does Florian Wirtz have? Isn't it a great big 0? Let that one sink in. But Liverpool are about to get us underway at Ellen Road, where hopefully I haven't jinxed it and Florian Wirtz gets an assist. But, you know, there's only one way to find out, and that is to stick with me watching this watch along. But there we go. Liverpool have us underway at Ellen Road. Leeds versus Liverpool. Here we go. Conor Bradley's already on the floor. I think the fact that he's playing Conor Bradley at right back and Konate at centre back instead of Joe Gomez at centre back and Conor Bradley at right back he should have him sacked immediately anyway, because Joe Gomez has actually played well when he's been in the team, unlike Ibrahim or Konate. So I don't know what this is all about. We've got Ekitike running onto a loose ball now. He checks over his shoulder, but it is given as offside and it will be a free kick to Leeds. But no, yeah, Konate's terrible. But no. Do you want to know why Konate will not get a red card? Because Konate doesn't engage in any defending that would result in him getting a red card. So that's kind of the issue, right? Konate can't get sent off because he doesn't involve himself in defensive actions. You can't get sent off if you're not willing to put in a challenge. You've got to remember that. And it was almost just 1-0 to Leeds. That was interesting. No, they do, but like Van Dijk, right? The thing is with Van Dijk is you can understand why Van Dijk aura defends, right? Because like he was the most feared centre back in the whole league for a good few seasons, but like Konate doesn't even have he doesn't even have the aura to aura defend. I don't know why he does it. Like the cheek of Konate to try and aura defend is outrageous. Like it well and truly is. Well and truly is. It's like if I saw a Kanji aura defending, like Vardiol can aura defend because Vardiol's got aura, but if a Kanji started doing that, or even Diaz, if I had to see Diaz who moves like a truck aura defend, I think that would be my 13th reason. Leeds have had another shot on goal, but that one is a bit rash and it is hit over for a goal kick, but it does come from a decent free kick into the box. It's originally headed away by Van Dijk, but it comes back to the Leeds player on the edge of the box, completely unmarked, and he's just able to volley it at the goal, but unfortunately it does go over. I think that was Gabriel Goodmanson on that shot. I'm not really too clued up on the Leeds numbers, if I'm honest. I probably should have researched that beforehand, but you know, you live and you learn. This is more of like a hate. This is more of a, I want to say that I was live streaming Arne Slot getting sacked. If he does get sacked. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, where were you when, like, you know, people used to say, it's like, oh, you remember where you were when the moon landing happened, or you remember where you were when 9/11 happened. Like, I want this to be that moment for me of the, I remember where I was when Arne Slot got sacked. And hopefully that is today. Hopefully. But Wirtz is coming. No, never mind. I spoke prematurely. Wirtz is not coming forward with the ball. Remember, guys, like the stream if you want Arne Slot. If you want to see Arne Slot lose his job tonight. Because, like, the thing is, yeah. And this is how you know it gets bad, alright? Rival fans will often say a manager needs to lose his job, right? Because it's funny. Or they'll say that he needs to keep his job because he's terrible, and that is also funny. Right? But it's concerning at the point that even after they beat West Ham, there were still people going, yo, I don't care, Arne Slot still needs to lose his job. And that just shows how bad it's got, right? Because, like, it got bad for City under Pep, but Pep had so much credit built up in the bank that, like, even at times where I thought he needed to be sacked last season, I knew he wasn't going to get sacked because of, like, the sheer amount of stuff that he won. But Arne Slot, he just doesn't have that credit in the bank, unfortunately. Obviously, he is a Premier League winner in his first season, which is an incredible achievement within itself. You know, whether he got lucky or not to win that league title is a different conversation in the slightest. And that is a conversation I'm very, very happy to engage in with any people that think that he either did get lucky or didn't get lucky. But that's not the point. Winning one Premier League is not enough to sort of give you one poor Premier League season. It gives you, like, a bad run of games. 100% it gives you a bad run of games, right? But not a whole season, no. And, like, I don't even see improvement, right? Because at least with City last season, you knew what the problem was. You knew the problem was the aging players and the lack of investment in the midfield, right? And you see a slight improvement in that now that we've actually incorporated people like Nico Gonzalez. We've went out and signed Weinders. Bernardo Silva's playing better this season, right? You know, you can see an improvement, and we were able to identify what the issues were last season. When I watch Liverpool, the only issue other than Konate I can pinpoint is the manager's tactics. Because Konate is the only consistent poor performer, right? But there's not really enough depth in the club to sort of cover for him anyway, because obviously Leone's injured and Joe Gomez is allegedly not fully fit, is what Arne Slot was saying, right, as to why he hasn't played more games this season, right? So yeah, he's the only poor performer, and as well, Arne Slot's spent all this money to make Liverpool be able to compete on all fronts across every competition, and they instantly get dumped out of the Carabao Cup because he put out like a side full of kids. And none of his new signings have really gelled. As I say that, Kirkez has blazed a shot over the bar from about 40 yards out. So that just kind of sums up my point. I was kind of scared that I was about to say none of his new signings have gelled, and Kirkez just absolutely slaps that shot in Ruben Diaz style. But he didn't, fortunately enough, right? But yeah, so none of his new signings have gelled, and he spent a lot of money. So for none of them to really gel, other than Ekitike, I'd say it is a tad concerning. You know, his tactics just don't look good enough. I don't really see a vision in what he's trying to do. I don't really understand what he's trying to do. I just don't get it. Like, it's like when I watch Man United, I see what Amarin's trying to do, but I just don't understand how it works. And with Slot, I don't see what he's trying to do, and I don't see how it's going to work, especially with the crop of players he's got. And a lot of those players he went out and signed. Like, I don't see what they're doing with Isak at all. I don't think the way they play is complementary to the way Florian Wirtz plays. I just don't think Kirkez is very good, full stop, if I'm totally honest. And obviously Frimpong's been injured for quite a bit of the season. So, you know, I don't see the vision with the new players that he's brought in, really. A lot of the players that you'd expect to bail Liverpool out when you need to, being Van Dijk and Mo Salah, just haven't been good enough this season. Van Dijk especially has had a very, very poor season for his standards. And their best player's been Szoboszlai, who's going to run on empty and end up getting himself an injury because he has to play every single minute, because he's the only player that seems to know how to play football for Liverpool this season. Szoboszlai now, Van Dijk, Jones, Wirtz, Jones, Kirkez, Wirtz. It's now Gravenberch. Gravenberch back to Van Dijk. Now it's Kirkez. Florian Wirtz. Curtis Jones. I think Liverpool have looked decent in spells this game when they've come forward. They just don't have the final piece to the puzzle in the attacking department. And also, anytime Leeds pick up the ball, they just look like they're about to cut Liverpool open in transition. And that's exactly what they're doing right now as Goodmanson surges forward. But Konate deals with it and gets it back to Alisson. And Liverpool can come forward again. Never mind, Connor Bradley's run straight into traffic. And now it's Goodmanson again on the edge of the Liverpool box. Yeah, they just don't seem to know what to do when they come under any defensive pressure. Liverpool, that's a poor cross and it's claimed straight by Alisson, claimed easily by Alisson. But yeah, like when they come forward, they don't look too bad, right? Obviously, like I said, the final piece of the puzzle isn't exactly there for them, but you know they're not atrocious going forward, right? Especially with Ekitike in the team, who's coming back, dropping deep with the link-up play, right? It's not looking bad going forward, but it's when they lose the ball and the ball gets turned over, they're complete and utter food in transition, really. But we've got Curtis Jones on the edge of the box now. He passes it wide to Bradley. Bradley whips a cross in and it's dealt with. Only as far as Goat has arrived in Real Betis game. 2 seconds. Ekitike has been absolutely clattered by the goalkeeper. Wirtz now still on the ball while Ekitike is on the floor. Still Wirtz. Still Florian Wirtz. Now Connor Bradley gets the cross in to backstick to Jones. And that's going to go out for a throw-in. And I think Hugo Ekitike is going to receive some medical attention because he's still down on the floor holding his face. Huge Anthony goal though. Huge Anthony goal. I would swap Savinho for Anthony. Hot take. Bring me Anthony over Savinho. Especially in current form. Yeah. Ekitike just took a huge punch to the side of the head. Like, it's not like directly in his skull and he'll be fine, but like there was definitely some contact. There was definitely like a graze to the side of his skull there. For Hugo Ekitike. I can't tell if he's in tears or if that's a sweat dripping down his head. Like, I'm not really 100% sure on that one. Isak does not look too happy to be on the bench. Whereas, like, Mo Salah looks content to be on the bench, but Isak does not look like he wants to be there at all. Again, like I always say, we've got the Diet Coke and the water. Well, it's not a City watch along, so we're not going to see the nervous sips of the water today, unfortunately. Arne Slot giving some stern words to Florian Wirtz. I think if I can get a rough translation on that, because I'm a professional lip reader, that does say, go up there and save my job, please and thank you. I don't want to have to bring on Chiesa. Were the exact words that just came out of Arne Slot's mouth. Because obviously his job was saved by Chiesa midweek, and he has sort of rewarded him with yet again another start on the bench while playing Szoboszlai out wide. So, you know, that's a man in sound mind. We've got Rodon to take the throw in now, though. Van Dijk wins it, but goes straight back to Leeds. But they play a sloppy pass out from the back, and now it's Connor Bradley out wide to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai goes back to Konate. Now it's Van Dijk. Van Dijk about to spray it back out wide to Dominic Szoboszlai, who's sitting a bit deeper on the right side, allowing Connor Bradley to push up further ahead of him. 14 minutes played at Ellen Road, still 0-0. Bogle with a touchdown, but Jones picks the pocket of... Oh, never mind. I thought Liverpool had it there. The Leeds midfielder there. 2 seconds. I need to refresh myself on the numbers, man. Mate, it's been a long day. Work today has absolutely fried my brain. So I'm just like, I'm running on like half capacity, like half brain capacity, and that's already like That's like quarter of the normal person's brain capacity, if anybody's wondering, right? So yeah, Wirtz now, he's out to Gakpo, goes back to Florian Wirtz. Now Kerkez, back to Van Dijk. Gravenberch with a nice touch inside. He's got Curtis Jones and Kerkez ahead of him. Jones goes to Gakpo. Gakpo back to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is going to shoot, and he hits the bar. That's a really, really good strike. Kind of reminds me of that goal he scored against, was it Everton? Well, I know it was Everton, but was it in the League Cup? Curtis Jones? That was a good strike. Obviously, unlucky to hit the bar. Wirtz now. His pass is intercepted. Leeds can now try come forward. Kanate. Bradley again. Szoboszlai. Got Wirtz on the overlap. Wirtz cuts it back to Ekitike. Ekitike shoots. Cleared by Roden. Back out to Florian Wirtz. Now Ekitike. And it's going to be a Liverpool corner. You know, again, that was good football. Again, by Liverpool coming forward. But they just can't get the finishing touches correct. And, you know, like, it really isn't an issue, them going forward, like I keep reiterating. It's just how they conduct themselves in transition is actually appalling. Like, their midfield's non-existent. It's basically just Gravenberch on his ones. And as soon as you get past Gravenberch, you know you're not going to get closed down by Kanate or Van Dijk. So you just got to just, like, push them back as far as possible and then just shoot and hope it hits off one of them and goes into the back of the net. That's how you attack against Liverpool. And you see teams do it all the time and time again. I mean, you look at Sunderland's goal as prime example of exactly that, and that's exactly how you attack Liverpool, and that's how you get things done. Gravenberch now. He goes to Van Dijk. Now it's Kerkez. Gakpo. Kerkez. Van Dijk. Kerkez. Jones. Wirtz. Kerkez again. Liverpool just keeping possession around the back here. Nothing too fancy. Van Dijk. Szoboszlai. Go inside to side, trying to force an opening, but they're doing really, really well to keep the ball. Gravenberch now lofts it out wide to Cody Gakpo. Gakpo touches it down, goes to cut inside, whips across back stick just over Ekitike's head, and that will be a Leeds goal kick. Liverpool have had 5 shots and 5 touches in the opposition box, compared to Leeds 0 in both of those stats. Cross comes in, that's a block by Gravenberch, and it will be a Leeds throw. And Purdue had to take the throw. I hate the collars on this jacket, man, but it's actually freezing in my room, so I've got to wear it. Ampadu looks like he's setting for the long throw. Yeah, Ampadu with a long throw into the Liverpool box. Gakpo tries to get it away, does get it away, and he gets it to Ekitike, who can carry the ball forward. He's got Wirtz on the inside of him, along as Cody Gakpo. Ekitike does get it into Gakpo. Gakpo takes a heavy touch, and then he is brought down for a free kick on the edge of the Leeds box, and Bogle will receive a yellow card for that challenge. And this is definitely Szoboszlai range, so Liverpool could get the opener here, 100%. It's a beautiful pass inside by Ekitike. Obviously, Gakpo does enough to take the touch past Bogle, and Bogle just has to clear him out, or else it is alarm bells for Leeds. He takes the yellow card, Jayden Bogle, and that is going to be the free kick, which has currently Szoboszlai and Wirtz stood over it, but I can bet any money it is going to be Szoboszlai to take it. Szoboszlai for Liverpool on this free kick. 3-man Leeds wall to beat, with Wirtz and Gakpo just stood behind the wall. Szoboszlai over the bar. Goal kick. Not a fan of his trim though. He needs to take his hair out of that bun, if I'm being totally honest. That is a horrendous trim. Absolutely horrendous. Van Dijk heads it into Wirtz, but it's taken off his toes by Ampadu. Still up in the air, and then, so I had to say, it then comes down for Bogle, but Bogle then just absolutely launches it forward. Konate's made a mess of this one, but it is dealt with by Szoboszlai, and then it is kicked clear by Bradley. Bogle again retrieves it for Leeds, but he loses out to Gakpo, and then Jones can spray one out wide to Ekitike. And it will go out for a Liverpool throw-in. That was really, really poor defending again on the edge of the box for Liverpool. It's a poor header by Van Dijk. It's a blind header into Konate. Konate then, under pressure, tries to flick the ball clear on the edge of his box and ends up just playing it into the path of the attack. It's just not good enough, is it, from the pair of them? Wirtz does well there to beat his man. That's not even Wirtz. That is Conor Bradley. My bad. My mistake. You can tell it's been a long day. Konate. Jones now. Across to Kerkez. Kerkez back to Van Dijk. Now it's Kerkez again. Jones. Van Dijk. Konate. Szoboszlai does a 1-2 with Wirtz. And now into Gravenberch. Gravenberch to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai plays a beautiful ball through to Conor Bradley, but he kind of loses the ball at his feet, and then Goodmanson's able to come away with it. But Bradley closes him down, and Wirtz latches onto it, goes back to Szoboszlai, and now it's Gravenberch attacking down the right-hand side. Back to Bradley. Szoboszlai. Still Szoboszlai. He goes inside to Wirtz. Wirtz turns. He plays it. Ooh. I think the signing of Wirtz really has caused the issue for Liverpool this season, going from a counter-pressing 3 of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister to a sole creator in the cases of Wirtz. It doesn't seem to work efficiently. I mean, I don't think it's 100% that. I mean, there are definitely sort of instances of that, and I think the fact that they don't, I just think what they need to do, right, is not even play Wirtz in the 10, because I think playing Wirtz in the 10 probably, well, my Ekitike's rode a challenge there, and now he's able to try get the cross in. He's still on his feet. He can cut it back to Szoboszlai. No, it's Bradley. But yeah, I think if they play Wirtz on the left, like they have a few times, and then you try keep McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch in the centre, they can still do all of the hard yards, all of the pressing, all of the recycling possession, all of the ball winning in there, right? And then you have Wirtz playing off of the left, because it's not like Cody Gakpo's in pressing out there at the moment, is he? Like, I don't think he's been great in the last few games. And then you have whoever you want off the right. Obviously, it's going to be Salah and not Chiesa. And then you probably are cooking for Liverpool there. Obviously, you give Wirtz the sort of license to roam into the middle while still having the main core three in the middle. It could definitely work, but I think it's the fact that Szoboszlai just gets shoehorned into so many random positions in this side, whether that be right mid, right back. Like, you know, they're always trying to shoehorn him into places where he's literally the best player in the team. He can play in his normal position, his standard position, and it won't be the detriment to the team because there's nobody better than him. No, again as well, there isn't an urgency for the team to get back and win the ball. That's why I said they're absolutely cooked in transition, because usually as soon as any team picks up the ball, the three people they've got to beat are Van Dijk, Konate and Gravenberch. And as soon as you get past Gravenberch, you've done the hard work. As soon as you're past Gravenberch, you've done the hard work. Van Dijk has just headed over from that free kick. You've done the hard work as soon as you beat Gravenberch, because you know Konate and Van Dijk aren't going to engage with you. But I don't think, again, like Liverpool haven't been bad going forward. It is just suspect every time they get hit with a counter. And that's what happens. I mean, I even look at the goals we scored against them in the 3-0 win. I mean, other than Gonzalez's goal, I mean, Haaland's wasn't exactly from a counter, but it started from a counter-attack. And they just weren't really positioned well enough. Like, we got into a good position from the counter. But you look at Doku's goal, like, Gonzalez switches the ball out to him and he's got absolutely no one out there with him except Konate. And what does Konate do? Back off, which allows him to just set his sights for the goal and curl it into the top corner. Like, and that's basically the same for 90% of the goals they concede. You look at a goal they conceded midweek to Sunderland. You look at, I think it was the third goal against Nottingham Forest was particularly poor defensively, with no one wanting to pick up Gibbs White in the middle. We do have Gakpo now out on the left, with Kirkes overlapping, but it's still Gakpo. He goes to cut inside. He tries to chip one back stick. It doesn't exactly work, but Wirtz wins it. Never mind, Conor Bradley's committed a foul and it will be a Leeds free kick. Bogle. Leeds have it just round the back, and I think what's important for Leeds now after that constant spell of just Liverpool coming forward is they just need to get comfortable in position. Liverpool's press isn't going to be as intense as it was just a few. Calvert-Lewin, that is an absolutely honking touch. No, Konate, I was going to say, if Konate let Calvert-Lewin absolutely burn him there, he needed to be hooked there and then, like just come straight off the pitch, because that would have been one of the most embarrassing things I've seen on a football pitch. But yeah, Liverpool aren't going to suffocate you with their press like they did under Jurgen Klopp. So after after letting them sustain a considerable amount of possession over the last five minutes, really all Leeds have to do is just kind of just sort of build up momentum. Because again, Liverpool will suffer from many of the same issues that City suffer from. A lack of concentration and contemplation, like in the just in the game when they're not seeing much of the ball, heads will start to drop, and even when they're on a lot of the seeing a lot of the ball, right? You know, lapse of concentration will seep in for these bigger players, right? And that's kind of what Leeds just have to just hope and wait for. Just see a lot of the ball, pass it around, and wait for someone to slip up, because it's gonna happen. 100% gonna happen. Got Bogle now picking it up out on the left. Or out on Leeds' right, should I say. Exactly. They're taking a sting out of it now. They're just knocking it about. No one in red is wanting to press them at all. They're all just wanting to drop off. Wirtz is the only one showing any real sort of desire to press that Leeds backline. Now a cross comes in from Goodmanson. Calvert-Lewin knocks it on. Goes out wide to Bogle. Can he keep it on the pitch? He does. He's got Kirkes to try beat. But he ends up passing it back to Roden. And then, yeah, Leeds have recycled it well and they're back out on their right-hand side. Again, no Liverpool player really looks that bothered about pressing. They're all just sat back in possession. And again, I'll hand it to Wirtz. He's the only one that seems sort of determined to press the ball when it's closest to him. Again, Leeds still just knocking it around with ease, really. They play one ball into the channel. Konate gets a bit too rough, doesn't win the ball, doesn't commit a foul either, I will say. Leeds again able to recycle it because there's no real urgency for Liverpool to try win this ball back. Bogle skips inside and it is won cleanly by Kirkes, and now Szoboszlai can run forward. He's got Gakpo outside of him. Gakpo's now in the box. He could square it, and that's one of the worst crosses I've seen from Gakpo. He does eventually find Ekitike, but he is now out on the byline of the opposite wing when he picks up the ball. Now Jones. Intercepted by Bogle. One back by Kirkes. Sort of. Leeds play the long ball. It's dealt with by Konate. And now it's Conor Bradley to bring it forward. Van Dijk. Curtis Jones. Now, we need to get Yudi in here, man. I bet Yudi's not even watching the game. I bet hardcore Liverpool fan Yudi Treneman's not even watching the game right now. I bet he doesn't even know they're playing. Shall I call him? Shall I call him and see if he knows they're playing? I'll call him right now. I'll call him right now. Nah, Yudi, bro, I'm on stream, so don't say anything mad. I'm about to put you on speaker. Don't say anything mad. Bro, why are you not watching the Liverpool game right now? Why am I watching the Liverpool game and you're not?
Honest lot.
You're saying that, but did you even know Liverpool were playing football right now before I said that? Be honest.
They're playing Leeds, bro. I was going to put it on, bro. I was like, bro, is there actually a plan?
Yeah, Liverpool are playing pretty well. Kirkes has the ball right now. Kirkes has played one of the worst crosses I've ever seen. It's 0-0, bro. Slap the game on and join my stream, bro. That's all you need to do, I'm telling you.
Oh, saying that, I got you.
Yeah, there you go, my boy. There you go, there you go. See that? Just like that. Put him on. Put him on. Don't believe what he says, though. He didn't know Liverpool were playing until I called him. Like, don't believe what he says. The amount of times I've joined the group call with him, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know Liverpool were playing," and then the game will be like 25 minutes in. Like, how, bro? How? That's sloppy from Gravenberch. Ampadu wins it back. He's got Calvert-Lewin ahead of him. That's a brilliant tackle by Conor Bradley, but it's a poor pass out because he tried to see out for a corner and he doesn't. Goodmanson runs onto it, but the cross is blocked by Konate, and it will now be a corner. Yeah, that was really sloppy there from Gravenberch. It was good work from Ampadu. Calvert-Lewin couldn't really make his mind up on which side of Van Dijk he wanted to go. You know, again, it's a good tackle by Bradley, but obviously the clearance and the pass out wide is poor. But Konate is able to block the cross from Goodmanson, and it's now a corner. Leeds go short. The cross is eventually hooked in. It's brought down by Calvert-Lewin, and it's seen out for a goal kick. Is it going to VAR for that? I just looked back up. Is it going to VAR? No, it's not. Okay. I was wondering why there was a break in play there. Alisson goes long. Leeds win the first ball. Ampadu can run forward. He does very, very well to hold off Wirtz. The pass isn't great. It's intercepted. Now Gravenberch can find Ekitike. He's got Gakpo ahead of him and he's got Wirtz inside. But he's going to cut back and refrain from taking on Bogle. And then he finds Curtis Jones. Jones to Kirkes. Nice Ekitike. Ekitike to Jones. I might move my camera actually. 1 minute. 2 secs. If I have my camera... Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I'm never messing with the setup again. I didn't like that. I was going to try put it on top of the monitor where I'm watching the game. But then I'm just off center. I don't like that. No. Forget I did that. Just erase that from your memory, please. Gravenberch. Kanate. Gravenberch again. He goes wide to Jones. Jones out to Gakpo. Now to Kirkes. Jones. Back to Kirkes. Now it's Gakpo. Wirtz. Again, nice combination play from Liverpool. They want to move the ball quickly and play with a tad bit of urgency when they're going forward and have the ball. But when they're defending, there's just no urgency to do anything. That's a good cross by Gakpo. And that's a high foot from Ekitike. And that will be a free kick to Leeds. You know, it's been a decent first half so far. Again, I'd say Liverpool have edged it, but Leeds have had their chances 100%. And again, Liverpool don't look like good enough defensively for me to 100% say they're going to win this game. But if they score first, I could easily see them getting a second goal and seeing the game out. But I can't 100% say they're going to score first because despite the fact they look the better team going forward, the willingness to defend is just not there for Liverpool the way it is for Leeds. And Leeds do have a free kick just inside the Liverpool half. And we've seen a free kick like this cause Liverpool problems before this season. This one is dealt with by Alisson now. Again, remember to like the stream if you haven't already. Help Yudi is wearing a wife beater. Nah, that's dark. Why is he not wearing the Liverpool shirt? Why is he not wearing the Liverpool? Tell me why he's not sat down in the Liverpool shirt watching the game. Ekitike has the ball taken off of him. Oh, it is a foul. Never mind. The ref deems it a foul on Ekitike when he was trying to hold the ball up on the halfway line. Now it's Kirkes. He's only just put it on. We're 38 minutes into this football match. And he has only just put on the appropriate attire. Now here come Leeds. Once again, no urgency to close them down from the Liverpool centre-backs. Luckily, Szoboszlai is there to close it down and put a stop to that counter-attack. And he sprays a beautiful ball out to Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo now. He's got Ekitike ahead of him, but Gakpo cuts in and then hits the shot just wide. I think that might have taken a deflection though, so that could potentially be a corner. But again, no urgency to defend from the Liverpool defenders. It's beautiful from Szoboszlai to come out, win the ball, and then ping an absolute stupendous pass out to Gakpo. Gakpo hesitates a little too long with his cut inside. I think he could have potentially found a cross into Ekitike, but he made it too obvious he was going to cut inside, and he was too slow with the cut the cut in, and then he eventually drags his shot wide of the post. So as we approach the 40th minute, it is still 0-0, but it is a corner, so it did take a deflection. I was right, I wasn't just seeing things. So Liverpool do have a corner here. 5 minutes away from half-time, can they take the lead? The corner comes in from Gakpo, and I mean, I wouldn't say Leeds dealt with that amazingly, but it's Gakpo again to try whip a cross in. It's dealt with by Calvert-Lewin of all people, but it's still Gakpo. He goes to Kerkez, back out to Szoboszlai, who then whips another cross in. That one is headed away by Ampadu, but it's still Liverpool with Wirtz hooking a pass out wide to Szoboszlai. He goes inside to Gakpo. Gakpo cuts inside once again. This time he tries to chip a ball in, but once again Ampadu's there first. Leeds head it clear again, but Liverpool win the second ball. And that's going to be a foul. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds to relieve them of some pressure there. Again, Liverpool again seeing a lot of the ball, getting the ball in dangerous positions, right? But the final ball's not there. The cross isn't there. So he's just put the game on. Has he put the stream on though? And if he has put the stream on, has he liked the stream? These are the things we need to know. These are the things we need to know. Because at the moment right now, I seem to be more of a hardcore Liverpool fan than Yudi, and I don't even support Liverpool, and that shows the sort of stage of affairs that this country's in, really, if I'm being totally honest. It's been quite dull first half, I'm honest. Like, there's been some decent chances, there's been some good football played, but there's not been anything like noteworthy happen. I think we need a scandalous VAR decision. Kerkez clears it. Only as far as Ampadu. Parry in goal now with the ball. He said no because he hates you. Whoa. I'm hearing rumours that if he tunes into the stream, Liverpool win. That's what I'm hearing. Jones brings it down for Liverpool. He goes inside to Szoboszlai. Once again pulling the strings for Liverpool. He knocks it out to Bradley. Now Ekitike on the ball. Szoboszlai. Inside to Wirtz, who tries to knock it round the corner to Ekitike, but it's dealt with by Gudmundsson. But it's won back by... No, never mind. It is a foul committed by Ekitike. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds with just 2 normal minutes of the first half left to play. I can't imagine there's going to be much stoppage time. My bet is 3 minutes. I'm going to say 3 minutes. I'm getting it in the earpiece. It's going to be 2 minutes. It's going to be 2 minutes added on. That's what I've just been told in the earpiece right now. 2 minutes is going to be added on at the end of this first half. I got that, inside scoop in the earpiece. Perry again with the ball in the Leeds box. He pumps it forward, but again, that he's just played a ball straight to Alisson. Alisson picks it up. And Liverpool can slowly build up from the back with the last, 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes of normal time left to play. Kerkez, he plays it to Gakpo. Gakpo plays one of the worst switches I've ever seen, and Leeds have the ball again. Ekitike goes in to win the ball back, but commits a foul in the process, and it is going to be a free kick to Leeds. I don't know what Gakpo was thinking there, man. That was some prime hero ball attempt. He's lost his mind. Leeds play it quickly. Rodon gets it out to Bogle. Then Leeds just play it back. Keeping the ball nice and comfy. Varane scored a hat-trick. No way. No way. You're trolling. You're trolling. Nah, you're trolling me right now. I need to see how many minutes I added on. But you can see if my source in the earpiece is correct. Oh, fair. Varane did score a hat-trick. That's kind of based. Van Dijk, he plays it out to Kerkez. He goes back to Jones. Who is dispossessed, but it will be a Liverpool throw-in. If we taken by Milos Kerkez. Oh, it's 3 minutes of added time. My source got it incorrect. I need to find a new in the know, man, because that's a poor showing. Like, I originally said 3, and then my source corrected me in my ear and said it was 100% going to be 2 minutes, and now it's 3 minutes, man. Like, I'm more in the know than my source that's close to the match. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, me saying it was going to be 3 minutes just shows how much football I really do know. Bogle, Calvert-Lewin. Leeds just need to keep it comfortable at the back and not make any silly mistakes towards the end of this first half. Van Dijk wins the ball in the air and knocks it down to Gravenberch, who is fouled, and it is going to be a free kick to Liverpool. I am actually so tired, man. I don't know why I agreed to this. Now it's Van Dijk. He goes to Kerkez. Now it's Jones. Now Gakpo's just not it, man. Like, I don't enjoy watching him play football. He's just so slow and sluggish with everything he does. Konate attempts a line breaking pass, but no one's making the run, and it's seen through to Perry in the Leeds goal, who should be able to pick it up and hold it for a few valuable seconds. Ampadu now trying to bring it forward. He's brought down by Connor Bradley, and that will be a free kick and a yellow card to Connor Bradley. I mean, there was really no need for that. I don't know why he did that. I don't really believe that Ampadu was going anywhere with that. Yeah, that's a stupid challenge for Connor Bradley. And that'll be his 5th yellow card of the season. Interesting fact for you there. Perry with a free kick now just inside Leeds half to launch it forward for probably the last chance of the first half. He launches it forward. It's dealt with by Szoboszlai, but then it's knocked back forward by Leeds. That's dealt with by Van Dijk. Szoboszlai tries to bring it out, and then it is blown for half time. I tell you what, that was not an exciting first half of football, if I'm going to be totally honest with you. If you're going to let me be brutally honest with you, that was a boring first half of football. Like, there's actually nothing... I just made a mistake. There's actually nothing worse, right, than watching a game as a neutral and it being a boring game of football. Because at least when you're watching your team and it's a boring game of football, like, there's still some stakes to it, right? But when you're watching a game that you're not, like, you don't 100% care about, it being a boring game of football is one of the top 5 worst experiences you can have in your entire life, in my opinion. I would at Vibes, I would ask you to get Yudi's halftime thoughts on the game, but I doubt he's going to have any. Oh, it's muted on my thing as well. Tell you what though, I still can't believe Diaz scored that goal. Yudi's about to play you. Is he about to lose? You saying that he's about to play you and not that he's about to lose to you shows that you're not confident going into that game. Should I use the main? Yeah, use the main team. Nah, crash it in with the main team, man. Has to be done. I still think Liverpool should win this game. I think that they'll have a big second half because, again, Leeds have not threatened at all, really. I think they probably had one or two decent chances, but they were all half chances. I wouldn't say they were like big chances. And then Liverpool haven't really had one either, but they've got the men on the pitch to create those chances, whereas I just don't think Leeds have that quality. I could really, really do with a big second half here because I'm just not enjoying this game if I'm being totally honest. Like, just from a footballing perspective, like there's been some decent football, but I think it's very few and far between. And I think someone just needs to make something happen. This is perfect for Wirtz, right? This is what I'm telling you right now. This is perfect for Wirtz to stamp his authority on this team and on this game. You know, it's a very even game, so to say. It's a very even game, so to speak, right? So I think this is a perfect chance for Wirtz to just take this game by the scruff of the neck. It's already 1-0. That's dark. That's actually sinister. Who scored? If you have time to type who scored, tell me who scored. Oh yeah, Curtis Jones has probably had the best chance for Liverpool now that I think about it. It's probably that Jones chance. It was a beautiful, and maybe the Van Dijk header. I'd say Jones's was closer, but Van Dijk's header is probably the better chance, and I think he should definitely be getting that on target. What's Twitter telling me? I don't think I follow many Liverpool fans, to be fair, so I'm probably not going to get that much insight from what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm not literally. I don't have any. I don't have any Liverpool content coming up on this timeline right now. Zero. Now that I deep it, right, obviously Shirky has the most assists in the league, and he's only got 5 starts. That's despicable. That is despicable. But could do with some goals and some assists in this game though. Like, it's just like I actually feel bad for doing a watch along on this game now because I've got nothing to add because I'm not like it's just not. It's not doing it for me, man. Like, I do enjoy football outside of City. Obviously, most of my watch-alongs have been City because that just like is a sort of whole point of a watch-along. Like when you're doing it, it's easier to do it on your own team. But like I thoroughly enjoyed the one I did for Chelsea Arsenal, and that's kind of what like made me want to do this one. But just the football I'm seeing right now, I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea considering the two teams that are playing, because Liverpool just need to score. Like, they're doing all the right things on the edge of the box. Why can't they just put a good ball into the box and put the ball in the back of the net? Or can Leeds score, actually? I probably would prefer Leeds to score because then Liverpool would be chasing the game and they'd sort of go into panic stations. But I just don't see Leeds scoring, unfortunately, with the chances they've created anyway. But obviously, there's still 45 minutes to go and anything can happen in the second half. I just found 51k views on X today, lol. And 2 as a cricket handle. And that 2 as a cricket handle replying under football tweets. You say 50k views, that's 51k views, that's not bad. To be fair, I did just see one of your tweets. I have just seen one of your tweets as I was scrolling looking for Liverpool sort of fan reactions to that first half. I don't even know how many views I got. Mine have been so low that it's not even told me because I haven't been using Twitter that much recently. We need to get this second half underway ASAP. This second half needs to kick off as soon as possible, man. Actually, let me make sure I'm not in delay again because I'm still traumatized from that time I was just sat here watching in delay when the game was underway. No, we're good. I think after watching the first half, I think 1-0 Liverpool. 1-0 Liverpool. I think Ekitike will score. Or potentially Salah off the bench. One of the two. And I think it'll be 1-0. I've just seen that Pep is compared Shirky to Messi. That just shows how good he is, man. That just shows how good he is. Vibes, am I getting a score update? Am I getting a score update on the game, or has Judy started winning? Is that why you went quiet in the chat? But they've what? They've got so Chiesa, Salah, McAllister, Isaac, Gomez all on the bench with all subs remaining. Is he gonna make a Is he going to make a substitution for the second half? Isaac is warming up. Isaac is warming up. And I think the correct decision would be to take Gakpo off. Oh, wait, that's Salah. Well, they both warming up. Salah and Isaac are warming up, right? I think the correct decision is you got to take... You take Gakpo off. Move Ekitike out to the left. Sorry. Yeah, you take Gakpo off, move Ekitike out to the left, put Isaac up top. I think it would be a mistake to take Ekitike off of this pitch. But for Salah, I don't know, because I don't think you should take Verts off. I think Verts has actually been quite decent. And I wouldn't say take Szoboszlai off either. I think both of those players in the midfield. I think if you're going to take anybody off, it would be Jones. And obviously move Szoboszlai into the middle and Salah out wide. But Gakpo is on the pitch to start this second half. So it looks as if there will be no changes for Liverpool coming into this second half. They're all out there doing their warm-ups, and right now it does not look like the substitutions that Arne Slot's going to make are going to come right at the start of the second half. But here come Leeds now. Not on the attack, just out of the tunnel. I would like to add. These two guys underway for the second half. No changes for either side. And this is a big 45 minutes for Arne Slot. Very, very big. Because I think even a draw is not enough. I think even if they draw, I think he should go. I think it's a win or nothing here for Slot, or else his job is well and truly finished, in my opinion. But Leeds hit it long, but it does go out of play for a Liverpool throw-in straight away. Bradley takes the throw. Knocked on by Ekitike. But Leeds are now back in possession. Perry in goal now with the ball. He hoofs it long. In search for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin brings it down after a weak challenge from Konate, but it is given as a foul by Calvert-Lewin, which I don't think is the right decision, if I'm totally honest. I thought that was just a weak challenge from Konate. But we'll look again. Calvert-Lewin goes up. Nah, not enough in that for me personally. For me personally, I think that's just weak defending from Konate. But Liverpool have possession nonetheless. Here's Wirtz. He goes to Kirkes. Now back to Wirtz. Wirtz skims one, and then he helps it on to Gakpo, who's dispossessed by Bogle, but Wirtz sees it out for a throw-in. Never mind, it was offside. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Hit long, Van Dijk wins it, but he puts it out for a throw in this time. Bogle. Need to go all the way back. It's Roden now. Again, just taking their time on the ball. They don't want to rush anything. It does look like Daniel Farke and his men are looking to play for a draw. But that weak sideways pass across the face of goal is not going to do anything, because Ekitike latches onto it and Ekitike scores. That is 1-0 Liverpool. And that is a very, very, very poor goal for Leeds to concede. That is a ridiculous... What is he thinking? What is he thinking? Like, let's look again, right? You know, no pressure. Slight bit of pressure from Wirtz. No pressure. Absolutely horrendous sideways pass. Gives Ampadu no option at all. No option at all. Thank you again, Arian, my boy, for the super chat. Very, very much appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. I won 5-4, got Campbell sent off in 20 minutes. That's dark. Not as dark as the Leeds defending for that goal, though. Absolute disgusting pass from Roden. Absolutely disgraceful pass from Joe Roden across the front of his goal, and he gives his Welsh national teammate no favours. Ampadu's got nothing to do, and Ekitike's calm and composed in front of goal, and that is now 1-0 Liverpool. And that should be that. That should be the win for Liverpool, because I don't see Leeds getting themselves back into this game. But then again, I didn't see Leeds getting themselves back into the game against City, and we all saw what happened there. I didn't see them beating Chelsea either. So they're a team full of surprises, and anything could still happen, you know. We're still in the early stages of the second half here, but that's another beautiful ball in behind to Ekitike, who is brought down in the box. I think that's a fair challenge, and so does the referee. So play does continue for Leeds. Liverpool have now finally stepped up the pressure on their press, and now Conor Bradley wins it. And it is Ekitike again! It is now 2-0 to Liverpool within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Both goals coming from Ekitike, and both goals being made from poor defending from Leeds. I think Leeds got a little too complacent, but there's a potential foul in here on the goalkeeper, so the goal might not stand. But again, it's poor defending from Leeds. Liverpool have actually decided they want to press the ball now. You look at it, it comes out wide. Szoboszlai and Bradley go in for the press. Goodmanson gives up the ball. Bradley crosses it. He's in line with Ekitike, so he is onside. Perry comes out for it. He gets a weak hand to it, so Ekitike is able to stick out a foot and just about get his knee onto it, actually. It ricochets up off Perry's hand and into Ekitike's knee. It does look like the follow-through from Ekitike's foot does hit the goalkeeper in the chest, but that should not be a foul and that shouldn't be disallowed, and that is 2-0 Liverpool. All thanks to an Ekitike brace. And well, yeah, that like it's 2-0 to Liverpool, but both of those goals have come from Leeds just making an absolute mess at the back. And now that 100% should be game for Liverpool. Ekitike with the brace back in the starting 11. And what more could you ask for, really? What more could you ask for? I think the goal is still being checked by VAR. I don't think it should be disallowed personally. I will throw that one out there. I think it'd be very, very harsh to disallow this goal because, like, the ball's already hit off of Ekitike before Ekitike's already played the ball before he's made contact with the goalkeeper. So the ball's already past the goalkeeper before the contact's on the goalkeeper. So it doesn't impede the goalkeeper from saving the chance. So this goal should stand, if I'm being totally honest. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Goal given. 2-0. As it should be. There was no chance that should have been disallowed. No chance. I don't even know why that went to VAR. As soon as I saw the angle... Well, I know why it went to VAR. Oh, they were checking offside, actually. Sorry, I didn't know what they were checking. I'm not watching with audio. They were checking... Again, that's so blatantly onside. You don't need to go to VAR to check that. To see if that's onside. It wasn't a foul, and he was quite clearly onside. I don't understand why that had to go to VAR. But nevertheless, Leeds are kicking off once again, and now it is Liverpool 2, Leeds 0, and I think it is probably over for Leeds now. You know, I had a little hope for them. After the first goal, but no, it's a sloppy defending all round for Liverpool. For Leeds even. But Leeds do have a throw in here, courtesy of Ethan Ampadu, and hopefully they can try and get themselves back into this game, because I don't know if I could sit through watching Liverpool comfortably win this game. I think that would cement it as a snooze fest. Like, I'd kind of want some competition to happen in here, but Van Dijk gets his head onto the throw first, but he does head it out for another throwing straight for Ethan Ampadu. Hey, no one said Leeds were good, UD. No one said Leeds were good, but Liverpool also aren't very good, but yeah, Leeds created both of those goals. Like, the mess is, you know, if they're going to look to blame anyone, they got to blame themselves. But Ampadu again with the throw-in. This one's dealt with by Kanate, but it will go out for a corner. You know, and it has been a lot, and you know, I'm not saying that like Liverpool have been gifted these goals. It is a lot better from Liverpool. They're showing a lot more intensity in their press. Obviously, I did criticise their press, you know, a lot in the first half. They've been a lot better with it, and that's why they've got these 2 goals. But they've just got to see it out comfortably defensively, and Kirkes now puts it out for another throw for Leeds. Because the thing is, if it stays 2-0 and Leeds get one back, I think it will send Liverpool into panic stations. You saw what happened against Newcastle and you saw what happened against Bournemouth. Obviously, they did end up getting bailed out by late goals, but that's the point still stands that a 2-goal lead for Liverpool is not exactly concrete, and we have seen Leeds turn over a 2-goal deficit rather quickly in the past. In the very recent past, is that he has kept that on. It is Calvert. No, it is going to go out for a throw in now. Alisson, he goes long to Ekitike. Leeds cleanly win the ball. I thought that one would have been a potential foul, but no, Leeds do come away with this one. Goodmanson goes long, it's over here, and it goes straight through to Alisson. Yeah, this is getting dark for Leeds. This is getting dark for Leeds. Why? What's happened now? Or is that just because Liverpool's winning? Or Judy now went and beat you? Jones, Bradley. He goes back to Kanate, who just taps it back to Alisson. Oh, at least she didn't lose to Yudi. Nah, that's fair. That's a foul. Blatant foul. Ball goes out wide now to Gakpo, but hitting a long ball over Cody Gakpo's head of all people should be a criminal offence. He's a 6'2" winger, right? And you're hitting a switch and it's going over his head. That's something you need to sit down and think about. Like, you need to have a long, hard look at yourself if you're doing that. Goodmanson comes forward now. That pass is intercepted by Gravenberch. Now it's Bradley. He goes inside to Kirkes, who goes back out wide to Gakpo.
Ball by Gakpo. Here's
Jones. Curtis Jones. Inside to... Perry throws it long. Yeah, I just can't see Leeds getting back into this game, especially when Calvert-Lewin's doing that. Now it's Kanate. Ekitike with a nice flick onto Wirtz. It's dealt with well by Roden. And now Ampadu. Leeds can be patient on this ball all they want, but it's not going to really help their cause. This is where they actually need to try and make something happen. And whether that's, opening themselves up to concede more and more goals, they need to do something here. This passing around the back 2-0 down is not gonna help their situation. It's just going to make things easier for Liverpool. Alisson long now. And then Jones knocks that one out for a Leeds throw-in. As we approach the hour mark, it is still 2-0 to Liverpool, and Leeds do not show any signs of getting back into this game whatsoever. Again, they just keep passing it around the back, and there's not really any openings going forward. Calvert-Lewin's been poor in all of his duels. He's been second best. He's now just wiped out both Van Dijk and Kirkes there, while attempting to win the ball, and he also got nowhere near the ball, so that's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, and Kirkes is still on the floor while Van Dijk and Calvert-Lewin have got themselves back up. Yeah, the ball comes long. Calvert-Lewin just gets absolutely nowhere near it, takes out Kirkes, and then as he's falling over, takes out Van Dijk as well. Surprised I didn't injure him, to be fair. Calvert-Lewin is made of glass. Brendan Harrison and Willie Gnotto are coming on now, so hopefully they can be the difference makers for Leeds, because this has a boring end to the game written all over it. Calvert-Lewin, nah, he's not quick enough. I mean, you'll be happy with the way things are going now. 2-0 lead and the other team not threatening to create chances whatsoever, but for me, this is boring. Yeah, there's nobody there. Anytime Leeds pass the ball forward, there's just no one there to receive the ball whatsoever. Liverpool throw in. So Bosley back to Kanate. That's Alisson. Kirkes. Van Dijk. So Bosley, nice pass around the corner to Ekitike. His pass intercepted, but they win it back. Kirkez. Alisson. He launches it long. This time Gakpo is able to keep it in play. And then Curtis Jones is fouled and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Yeah, Leeds have not impressed at all today. At all. You'd think turning over a 2-goal deficit to City and then losing out to a last-minute goal and then beating Chelsea 3-1 would be quite would give them some hope coming into this game at home to a struggling Liverpool side, but it's just not. Now, Yudi, I won't be on clubs after because I got a video to record after this. So I got to get my match reactions out for City because I was meant to do that after the game, but obviously this stream was scheduled for after the game finished, so I need to get that done. Connor Bradley comes forward now. He plays it outside to Ekitike. Ekitike does a few step overs, cuts inside. Is he going to go for the hat trick? He doesn't. He passes it inside. Now it's Kirkez. Gakpo. Jones. Wirtz. Kirkez. Now it's Jones. Gravenberch. Van Dijk. Jones now. Bro, I don't know why they didn't start him, to be fair. But he's coming on. Remember, like the stream if you haven't already, boys. Like the stream. Ah, it's Perry. Yeah, these subs need to come on quick for Leeds because this is just looking sad. Ampadu, he goes inside. Again, the straight passing back. Like, where's the you're 2 goals down to a team that are not in good form. Like, you could easily get yourself back into this game if there was just at least an attempt. But every time they cross the halfway line, they instantly pass backwards. And anytime they do pass forwards, Calvert-Lewin is just absolutely nowhere near the ball. Calvert-Lewin making the run in behind. Can he be found? No. But Goodmanson is also wide open. He's in the position to cross the ball in. He crosses it in. Oh, that's a big save by Alisson. It's originally headed on by Calvert-Lewin. And then Bogle's running in behind to just try and knock it into the back of the net. He is offside. He is judged to be offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But Alisson does well to get back, to get down and prevent it going in the back of the net. Obviously, Goodmanson, good cross. It's just knocked on, like, just glanced on by Calvert-Lewin, and then Bogle just throws himself at it to get any contact to try force it goalwards. Again, like I said, he was offside, but it's still a good save from Alisson Becker nonetheless. Willie Gnotto has now entered the field of play, along has Brendan Aronson. Aronson, Tanker and Gnotto on for Okafor, Gurev, and I didn't catch the last guy's name if I'm totally honest. I went too quickly. That is horrendous from Kirkez. I don't know how you end up that. He wasn't even under that much pressure, and he just weakly put it out for a throw into Leeds. Ampadu now. Hopefully the fresh legs can spark a bit of, belief into Leeds here. Because I've not seen anything remotely positive from them in this second half. So Ampadu. Roden now. Tell you what, both Aronson and Tanker are both picking up decent sort of positions in the midfield. So hopefully it just sticks Calvert-Lewin on last man and Notto now. Back to Gudmundsson. They're still not really going forward with much urgency, just passing it round the edge of the box. Now it's Gudmundsson. He tries to go inside to Aronson, but he's dispossessed. And now Ekitike can run forward with it. And now he finds Szoboszlai with Ekitike still advancing. He brings it down nicely. Knocks it onto Gakpo. Cody Gakpo cuts inside, shoots. That's a good save by Perry. So tip it out and wide for a corner. And that's good from Ekitike there to originally secure the ball. Play the 1-2 with Szoboszlai. Hold it up. Knock it onto Gakpo. Gakpo turns and shoots. And it's a good save by the Leeds goalkeeper. One he should be making really, but it's a good save nonetheless. Now, to be fair, I'm not clued up on any of the Leeds players, if I'm honest. They're like the one team in the league that I don't know who plays for them, other than really Aronson, Calvert-Lewin. Like, other than like the main players, I'm not like too clued up on how good the rest of the gentlemen are. But Wirtz is now coming off for McAllister, and Conor Bradley makes way for Joseph Gomez. Can Joseph Gomez get his first professional goal of his career today? He's got around 20 minutes to do so. So Szoboszlai now on the corner. Szoboszlai whips it in. Konate gets to it first, but it's a tame header and it's easily claimed by Perry and net. Aronson. He's dispossessed by Kirkez. Now it's Gakpo. He tries to thread it through to Szoboszlai, who's making the forward run through the kind of through the middle. I'd say off the right through the middle, but it's been turned over, and now it's Tanker. He goes out wide to Aronson. Back into Tanker, who tries to find Calvert-Lewin, but he's stood behind two defenders in an offside position. It's cleared by Liverpool. Tanker now. Now it's Gudmundsson. This is a little bit better from Leeds. Still don't have much hope that they're going to get themselves back in this game, but it's looking a little bit better. Now it's Willie Notto. He goes to get the cross in, but it's dealt with well by Konate, but it is going to be a corner. Or is it goal kick? Because Notto does not look happy. Ampadu's pleading with the referee here. Is he saying it's a penalty? Is he saying that's a foul? Or is he saying that... What's happened here? Let's see this again. Notto jinks past. Ooh. Let's see that. He goes past Szoboszlai and Gomez with ease. And then as he comes up to cross the ball, Konate doesn't get anywhere near the ball and takes out the man. That could be a penalty. That very much could be a penalty now that I've seen that close up. At first, I thought Konate won the ball, but I think what saves him is that's going out. I think that ball's going out anyway, so I don't think it will be given as a penalty. I personally don't think that's a penalty. But it's whether what VAR and the referee decide. No penalty. And that again is the correct decision. Or is he going to the screen? Wait, no, he's going to the screen. Sorry, my bad. I got the gesture wrong. My sign language is not up to scratch. So the referee is going to the monitor. And that a penalty. He's been advised to go to the monitor. I don't know why. I don't think that's a penalty. Yes, he brings him down, but the ball's already going out of play. He's went to block the cross, but the ball's rolled out of play instead. So, Like, I don't understand what he's meant to do. He slid in to block the cross, but the ball's rolled out of play anyway because Notto's miscontrolled it. So there's no way he can give a penalty for that. There's no way. Zero way he can give a penalty. And he has given it. Has he given that? No way. No, I don't know. That's not a penalty to me, man. I don't think that... I personally believe that's not a penalty. He's went to block the cross. Notto's miscontrolled the ball, sent the ball out of play, and then sort of forced himself into the foul because he knows he's made the mistake. But the referee gives the penalty. And up steps Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't know, you. Do you think that's a penalty? I don't know what else he's meant to do. I honestly don't know what else he's meant to do. He slid in to block the cross. The balls went out of play. So Notto's thrown himself to the floor under the slightest bit of contact from Konate. But here's Calvert-Lewin now over the penalty. And that's 2-1. So Leeds do have themselves back in the game. Courtesy of a penalty from Calvert-Lewin, which I am not... I'm not 100% sold that was a penalty. I think Notto's done the referee, you know. I think he's baited him there, yeah. That's a good penalty though from Calvert-Lewin. And that is 2-1. So that's a tad bit more interesting, you know. We've got a... Nah, he did though. He was trying to... Here's what it is, yeah. If Notto keeps that ball on the pitch, he's crossing the ball. So what Konate's done is he slid across to block any angle there is for Notto to get that cross in. But Notto's miscontrolled the ball and it's went out of play. No way Calvert-Lewin's almost just got on the end of a cross there as well. So Notto's came across... no, Konate came across to block the cross. Notto's miscontrolled the ball. So the ball's going out of play. And then he's sort of just thrown himself into Konate's legs to go down for the penalty. I don't think that's a penalty. I think that's harsh. I think that's very, very harsh. Very, very harsh. But you know, we've got a game on our hands now. How are Leeds going to react to that? Are they now going to play with a bit more urgency to attack? I'm more interested in how Leeds react to that goal than I am to how Liverpool react to that goal. Because I just think Leeds have been a bit too passive since going behind. I was about to say since the second goal, but you know there wasn't much time for them to sort of react to the first goal. The second goal was already in, so you know they were 2-0 down just like that. But you know you got around 15 minutes of this game still to play. You know, so we could be here for an entertaining finish at Ellen Road. I could be made to eat my words from saying this was a boring game and this game was done and dusted. But I said the same for the Bournemouth game as well. Yudi, I know you were in stream for my Bournemouth watch along, my Liverpool Bournemouth one, where I said that was done and dusted at 1-0. But here we go. Leeds still patiently knocking it about. Here's Notto. Skips past one and then runs straight into Szoboszlai, whose pass does not reach its intended target of Ekitike, and Leeds have the ball back. Aronson. Inside to Notto. Now Aronson. Goodmanson outside of him, but he decides to go in the box instead. Shoots! 2-2! 2-2! No way! No way! No way! No way! No, 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 no. No way! No, no way. I didn't even... Nah. Tell you what, Aronson just turned on the style points there. I'll give him that. Aronson knew what... Aronson... Fairs. Because it all starts from his 1-2 with Notto, and then he knocks it inside to is that Statch there as well. He takes a nice touch round Gomez and then just guides the ball into the near post. Beautiful 1-2 from Aronson. Then a nice pass inside. Starch takes some very good touch round Jones and then just guides the ball into the near post. Nothing Alisson Becker can do. And just like that, Leeds have scored 2 in quick succession, just like Liverpool did at the start of the first half. And now, at the start of the second half even. And now we really do have a game on our hands. Wow. Fair enough, I have been made to eat my own words, because the game is well and truly back on. And the Arnie Slot out party is still scheduled. Ladies and gentlemen, it is still scheduled. We have a very, very entertaining last 15 minutes to this game at Ellen Road. I am back alive. The excitement is back in my voice. Calvert-Lewin is absolutely terrible. Jones, inside to Gravenberch. Jones, out wide to Szoboszlai. Liverpool look to respond to those 2 quick goals from Leeds. Szoboszlai still, he keeps going. Now out to Gakpo. He's closed down quickly by Aronson and Bogle, but he skips past, gets it inside to Gravenberch. Gravenberch outright to Kirkes. There's not really much on for Liverpool now. They've had to slow it down just a little bit. Van Dijk. Now Konate. Out to Jones. Gomez he even passed to Jones. He passed to Gomez. I don't know what I'm thinking. That's a foul, and that'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Wow, this is something, to say the least. This is something. Salah does not look impressed that he's not been brought into this game yet. Isak is warming up and ready. So is Andy Robertson. And Arnie Slot looks absolutely baffled on the touchline, and so would I as well, mate. If I'm totally honest, so would I. Second time in 2 weeks that Leeds have overturned a 2-goal deficit to get back to 2-2. This time, can they see it out? Only time will tell. Free kick from Szoboszlai into the box. It's glanced on by Van Dijk, and that's a beautiful save by Perry. But Ekitike keeps it alive, whips it back out to Gakpo, headed away by Tanker. And then out for a Leeds throw-in. Now, lads, what am I watching? What am I watching? Yeah, free kick comes in. Van Dijk gets up to it, flick on. Beautiful save by Perry to keep the score level. And fair enough, Leeds have woken up. Those substitutions have changed Leeds' life. Obviously, the dubious penalty decision was won by Notto weaving his way into the box. And then the second goal is all crafted by Aronson's sort of inventive play in the midfield. Aronson has now just been brought down on the edge of the Leeds half for a free kick to Leeds. 12 minutes of normal time left at Ellen Road, and it is Leeds 2, Liverpool 2. What a second half we've had. After that absolute snooze fest of a first half, this game has well and truly come alive here. And I am all for it, ladies and gentlemen. I am all for it. Ampadu now. Leeds just don't do anything stupid at the back. Don't do anything stupid at the back. I want to see this get scrappy in the last 10 minutes. Jones. He cuts back to Gravenberch. Alisson. Konate. We approach the 80th minute now, and it is still 2-2. Curtis Jones. Van Dijk. It's now threaded into Gravenberch. He's in plenty of space. He goes inside to McAllister, who dummies it. Szoboszlai, 3-2! 3-2. Liverpool regain their lead. And it is a beautiful pass from Gravenberch. An excellent dummy from McAllister to absolutely send the defender the wrong way. And then it's a calm and composed finish from Dominik Szoboszlai. Liverpool's best player today. Liverpool's best player this season. And Liverpool have their lead back. But are they going to be able to hold on to it this time? Damn, but it feels like we're right back at the start of the season again. It feels like we're right back at the start of the season again. Opening day when I was streaming the watch along for the Bournemouth game. That is a beautiful, beautiful pass from Gravenberch. Excellent dummy from McAllister to Sel Gudmundsson. And it is just a calm and composed finish into the bottom corner from Dominik Szoboszlai. That is a beautiful thing. That is the best goal of the game so far. That is a beautiful, beautiful goal. Beautiful, beautiful goal from Liverpool. But there is still 10 minutes left in this game. And Leeds could have anything for you. They really could. Daniel Farke is not happy with that, with the defending for that goal, and neither would I, to be totally honest. I feel like there was too much space for Gravenberch to steam into there. Van Dijk has been booked though. I'm not too sure what for. But Leeds have the ball back. Calvert-Lewin. Tanker. He shoots from distance, but it's straight at Alisson. Comfortable save from the goalkeeper. Kirkes. He goes long. Gakpo. Retrieved by Leeds, and it goes back to the goalkeeper. Around 8 minutes left of this game at Ellen Road. It is 3-2 to Liverpool, but I still think there might be one last twist to the tail in Leeds tonight. Endo and Isak coming on for Liverpool. Gudmundsson. Notto. Back into Gudmundsson. That's a rough touch. And it's picked up by McAllister. Gravenberch. McAllister. Up to Ekitike. Back to Joe Gomez, who hits a nice little Ronaldo chop. Now it's Gravenberch. Joe Gomez again. He goes to play a ball through to Ekitike, but it's dealt with by Joe Rodon. Are the Liverpool subs going to be made? Joe Rodon's got some ugly tattoos. Fair to the man. So you've got number 18 making way for Endo. Number 18, Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo coming off for Endo, and I'm going to guess Hugo Ekitike is going to be coming off for Alexander Isak. Yeah, again, they showed it Ekitike first goal again. It's a poor pass from Rodon, and then it's poor goalkeeping for his second. But he'll be happy with how his days went. Endo and Isak enter the game for the last 7 or so minutes. Joe Gomez wins the ball. But it's back in Leeds possession with Gudmundsson, but he's being forced in the corner by Szoboszlai. Then it's been put out for a Leeds throw. Leeds want to get this taken quickly. Well, you'd hope they want to get it taken quickly. Gudmundsson goes long to Calvert-Lewin. He brings it down. Not a good enough touch, and he loses the ball. And then Gudmundsson is forced to defend the ball in the corner again from Szoboszlai, and this time the Hungarian concedes the foul. Leeds are making one last substitution, it looks like. I can't see who that is, though. Joe Gomez knocks the ball down. Leeds have it with Stark in the midfield. Now it's Ampadu. He's brought down by McAllister. Both of them back up to their feet. Now it's Bogle. He goes back to Perry in goal. He launches it long. Calvert-Lewin will be the target. Van Dijk wins it. 5 minutes of normal time left to play at Ellen Road. Still Liverpool 3, Leeds 2. Aronson now. He's tackled by Gomez, but Leeds still have the ball with Notto. He checks inside. Now it's Aronson. Aronson shoots very tame shot at Alisson, and that's a very, very easy claim for the goalkeeper. I will say that both Aronson and Notto have changed the game today. 100%. Ball goes long to Isak. He wrestles with Roden. The ball is retrieved by Bogle. Still Leeds now. Do they have time? Do they have the time? Do they have the motivation? And do they have the willpower to go and find an equaliser? That is the question. And you know, I said they didn't have the motivation to get themselves back into the game at 2-0 down. And you saw where that got me. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut on the matter. Tanker, Aronson. He knocks it forward to Stark. He knocks it back to Aronson, but it's dealt with by Van Dijk. But it is out for a Leeds throw-in. Ampadu coming off. For Joel Pior. Ethan Ampadu off for Joel Pior. Is he the key to getting Leeds the equaliser? Only time will tell. Tanker now. Just inside the Leeds half. He has time to drive it forward and space. He goes out to Notto. He's got Joe Gomez to beat. He cuts back inside. Stack launches one back stick. Aronson heads it on. Van Dijk gets there before Calvert-Lewin. It's knocked back into the box. Van Dijk leaves it and it'll be claimed by Alisson. 2.5 minutes left to play. Still Liverpool 3, Leeds 2. Bogle goes to hit it forward. The header's missed by Aronson. And it's retrieved by Kirkes. And now it's McAllister. Jones. 88 minutes on the clock now. Well, just about anyway. Still Liverpool leading by 3 goals to 2. It's not been a convincing performance. Like, I doubt this... Like, for Liverpool fans, I doubt this has changed their sort of outlook on whether Slot should be their manager or not, because it just feels like they're back where they began the season. And it's given up two goal leads very, very easily in a very, very short space of time. You know, there is still time to play, and I can imagine there will be a handful of stoppage time because of obviously the VAR check for the penalty and the Ekitike goal. Now it's Szoboszlai inside to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez cuts back. He wasn't feeling getting his first goal of his career, but it is pulled back for a free kick to Liverpool. Szoboszlai still on the floor. I can imagine just wasting a few valuable seconds here. Oh, it's 100% a foul, yeah. 100% a foul. Joe Gomez on the free kick. Will he go for goal? Probably not. Endo just passes it back to Kanate. Now it's Van Dijk. Liverpool just have to keep it calm and composed for these last probably around 5 minutes. My guess is going to be 5 minutes for the stoppage time at the end of this game. Anywhere between 5 to 7, I think. If I say anywhere between 5 to 7, let's say 6. Nice happy medium. Aronson sees it out for a Liverpool throw-in. It's 9 minutes. 9 minutes of added time to play at Ellen Road. Wow, this could get interesting now. Leeds just need to win the ball back. They need to show some fight to win this ball back. And that is a poor pass forward by Kanate. And Leeds do have the ball. But it's instantly won back by Szoboszlai. And then given straight back to Leeds. Perry goes long. Joe Gomez deals with it. And then Szoboszlai gets the second ball, knocks it down to Endo. Endo's dispossessed by Tanker. Now it's Gudmundsson. He goes forward to Notto. He's cleared out by Joe Gomez. And that will be a free kick. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. No, it's Notto. He goes for the cross. Very, very tame cross. Dealt with by Jones. Tanker tries to knock it back in. And then it's brought down. Calvert-Lewin! Beautiful, beautiful last-ditch tackle there from Konate to take it off the tip of the toes of Calvert-Lewin, because that could have been the equaliser there. Yeah, it's a beautiful tackle. Beautiful, beautiful tackle by Konate. And then it's safely claimed by Alisson. Alisson now to kick it long. 2 minutes of the additional 9 already played. Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai. Isak's calling for it, but Szoboszlai looks to go alone. He then tries to get the cross in, but Gudmundsson blocks it. Corner to Liverpool. That's what I was going to do. I need that. Let's put that on charge quickly. Oh, that's the wrong charger. Endo to hold it in the corner. Probably the smartest thing Liverpool have done all day. One final sub. Bogle is coming off for Leeds. Yeah, I think Leeds are done now, unfortunately. I don't see Liverpool. I do not see Liverpool conceding again. They have to have learned from their mistake. I say that. No, Calvert-Lewin's just fouled Konate. No, it's not been given as a foul, but McAllister wins the ball straight back, but he puts it out for a throw-in now. It's still a Leeds ball. Gudmundsson on the throw. Gudmundsson goes to forward, tries to go forward to Notto, but his run's blocked off. Gomez retrieves the ball. Now, but it is a Leeds throw-in now, though. With 3 minutes left to play. I said 3 minutes, sorry, my bad. I meant 5 minutes left to play, sorry. My apologies. And Leeds United still looking to come forward. Ball's pumped forward to Calvert-Lewin. It's dealt with by Joe Gomez, but it will be a Leeds corner. Leeds are still very much alive here, but I think Liverpool have what it takes to see this game out now. They shouldn't be in this position anyway. They were 2-0 up, let's be honest. But, you know, we found ourselves in this position last week, so I can't say too much. Corner comes in. Notto retrieves it on the edge of the box. Outright to Stark. Now back to Notto, who looks to get a cross in, but it's blocked by Kirkes, and it'll be another Leeds corner. Corner comes in. Aronson! No, Tanker! He scored! 3-3! No way! No way! Tanker back stick, puts it in. 95th minute. Leeds have equalised once again. Nah, this is looking dark. This is looking sinister for Arne Slot, because Leeds have equalised in added time. Their second equaliser of the evening, and it is once again from one of the substitutes, Tanker scoring the goal. That triple substitution Daniel Farke made has worked absolute wonders for them this evening. Let's see the replay of that. Arne Slot is not looking happy. And neither would I. Van Dijk is having a conversation with a referee. So, you know, there is a VAR check going on, I do believe. Let's see this again. So corner comes in. Tanker's onside from the original corner. Yeah, that should stand, surely. The ball comes in. Van Dijk. Oh, it comes off Gravenberch's arm. So the only arm it touches in there is Gravenberch's. It comes across. Konate and Van Dijk both miss the ball. It comes off of Gravenberch's arm as he shrugs Calvert-Lewin to the side. And then Tanker just places the ball into the back of Alisson Becker's net. And there is now... We're back level. We are back level. And that is... Tell you what, that's again shambolic defending from Liverpool. Absolutely shambolic defending. Van Dijk, Konate and Gravenberch, none of them get near that ball. None of them get near it. And it just passes straight across to the back stick for Tanker to tap that one in. And I don't know what Arne Slot's shrugging his shoulders at. His team should have saw this guy. Isak has just had a shot. And as they panned back to the game, it looked like it was flying in, but it has flown wide. Can Leeds now hang on to this point? It's going to be a big, big week for Leeds United. Win against Chelsea and a potential draw here against Liverpool. Cross comes... Oh, that was just a replay. Yeah, cross came into Isak. He has an open header. He just tries to knock it down, but he glances it just wide of the post. Wow. What am I watching right now? I actually cannot believe... I have been made to eat my words, right? I said, what? I hope I don't get made to eat my words, right? When I said that was an absolute snooze fest of a first half. And that when Liverpool went 2-0 up, that it was game done and dusted because I couldn't see Leeds getting back into this game. But they haven't just got back into this game once. They've got back into this game twice. He has to go. He has to go. 100% has to go. He has to. He has to be sacked, surely. If Liverpool do not find another late goal to win this game, then he has to lose his job. He has to. He has to lose his job, surely. There's a minimum of 1 minute still to be played here at Ellen Road. Federico Chiesa has not made his way onto the pitch. And Liverpool have just given away the ball sloppy to Leeds. And they're just playing it around smart. And that's a poor ball forward there. Van Dijk sees it out for a throw. Leeds have the ball in the Liverpool half, in the Liverpool final third. They couldn't steal a winner, could they? They could not steal a winner here, could they? Ampadu is screaming at his teammates instructions on how to take this long throw. They go short though to Tanker. It looks like Leeds are just going to try hang on to this 1 point instead of trying to hook it into the box and find a winner. Tanker has the ball now. Yeah, they're just holding it in the corner. Leeds have no intention of going for the winner. And can you really blame them? Notto. Rodon. Pierre. He goes for the cross, but it's blocked by Kirkes, but it goes out for another Leeds throw. We are now approaching the 100th minute of this game at Ellen Road. It is still Leeds 3, Liverpool 3. And this has been a very, very, very chaotic second half of football here at Ellen Road. Calvert-Lewin to hold it in the corner now for Leeds. Just to get them over the line. Endo wins it back, but it goes out for a goal kick. Can Liverpool save themselves? Can Liverpool save Arne Slot now? No, they cannot, because the final whistle has blown at Ellen Road. It is Leeds 3, Liverpool 3. And I am actually in utter disbelief at what I've just watched. I cannot believe what has just taken place in front of my very eyes. Yudi, please, give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts in chat before I sign off on this stream. Give us your thoughts on that as a Liverpool fan. Because that was absolutely disgraceful when he has to lose his job. No game management there whatsoever. He has to be sacked. Sack him now. Sack him now. It's done. Arne Slot's time at Liverpool is 100% done now. 110% over now his time at Liverpool for Arne Slot. 110%. He has to be sacked. He has to be sacked. 110% has to be sacked. With all that being said, though, I am going to sign off from tonight's stream. I hope you enjoyed this very, very chaotic watch along. Obviously, it started off very, very slow. I thought this was going to be a snooze fest, but I was proven very, very wrong because Leeds have stolen a draw at Ellen Road, stolen a late equaliser against Liverpool, and Arne Slot's Liverpool tenure has to be over now. It has to be. But thank you for watching the stream. If you haven't liked it, you have one last chance to like the stream already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.